Okay, so let's start out with card number 1. We're going to use the Shaded Summer stamp set along with the coordinating dies. So the dies are a celebration item. So when you order $100 in product, you can choose this set of dies for free. And of course, you would want to include the Shaded Summer stamp set when you order, so you can get your dies for free. We're also using one of the scalloped contour dies. I'm using the largest one here. And we're also going to be using a tiny bit of this fantastic bedazzled paper. Bedazzling, excuse me. Not bedazzled, bedazzling. Bedazzling. So this paper. And there is a little bit of a disclaimer in the catalog that does state if you cut a lot of things with this paper, so let's say you are going to use this die and you're going to cut, you know, like hundreds of these things, it can dull your die. That's just a disclaimer from Stampin' Up. I really don't know as though anybody would cut that many things. I mean, maybe a demonstrator. I mean, I don't think I would cut that many things, but just so you're aware that it can happen. So there you go. Okay, so we've got some stamps out of the set. I've got some Stampin' Write markers, which I don't use too often, but coloring stamps is extremely important to have your Stampin' Write markers. And I need a piece of white. So here it is. Okay, so I am going to do the marker to stamp technique here for you. And for those of you that have never seen this or don't do it very well or are wondering how to do it, I've got some great tips for you because I have been doing this for many, many years. First off, I do hold the stamp in my hand just for ease of use. And when I have my marker, I of course use the brush tip and I use the side of it. So you can see I am not dulling the point of my marker. I am just gently rubbing the ink off the side of the marker. And if you are careful, you can do this without getting, you know, the other spots of the stamp colored. And so I just take my time. Now right there, I just got a tiny bit on that flower. It's not going to matter because I'm going to put some Coastal Cabana on there and it'll just take care of it. Now, if it was something like a Blackberry Bliss, I might use a Q-tip or a blender pen to remove that. In fact, I'll show you that, removing it with a blender pen. So let me get this all done. And then I just kind of rotate the stamp around on my hand. And then I just use the same motion. So I'm basically kind of starting it and then pulling the marker towards me is kind of how I like to do it. So I'll come up here. I'm going to rotate the stamp again so I can still pull that marker towards me. Okay, and it'll start to dry just a tiny bit, but that's totally fine. And let me get a blender pen. So this is a blender pen. We do sell these in the catalog. It's like a glycerin-based marker, basically, so there's no color to it. And you can just wipe that right off. Okay, so then I'm going to come in with my Coastal Cabana, and I'm going to do this little flower right here. And again, I'm just kind of placing my marker on the part of the rubber that I want to color, and I'm just pulling it towards me. And you can see where the tip of the marker is, so I'm not getting it on the other items that are here, the other parts of the stamp. Okay. And then I've got the polished pink. I'm going to do this large flower. So again, I just rotate the stamp so that I can touch and pull the marker straight down. I find this gives me good coverage, but also ease of use. As you can see, there's like a lot of little things here that could get in your way, but if you just rotate your stamp around, then it works really well. Okay, a little tiny spot right there. And then finally our Daffodil Delight on our little roses here. Now you can tell this marker is a little older than my others, and it has been very well loved, but it still works great. And honestly, since we came out with Stampin' Blends, I very rarely color things with these markers, except for my stamps. So now I'm going to huff on it, as I'm going to re-moisten the ink. So I'm going to huff. I know that sounds kind of weird. And then I'm going to stamp it. And then look how lovely that looks. We've got all of our beautiful colors. And then, of course, all I have to do is take my die and place it over, and it's a really nice die. You can see the stem down here at the bottom for your placement, which is really nice. You can see up at the top, and I just kind of move that around until it's where I want it to be. And then I typically use some washi tape and get that on there just to keep it in place. And then you can die cut it. And so here is my little die cut piece. So very cute. Let me get the rest of these things out of here. All right, so here are my bling pieces. These are dies that are in that set. We have the detailed leaf and then this detailed flower right here. And so I cut those out of the bedazzling paper, so they are super pretty. I've got a little strip of the black paper, the beautifully penned. I did go ahead and get another little, I don't know what you call that, a little leafy piece. Oh gosh, here we go with my stupid phone. I need to turn that dumb thing off. Who is it? Oh, it's a private caller. Can anybody say spam? Yeah, my thing got rid of that. Okay. I was just gonna say, oh, this little piece right here. So it's a little bit of a foliage, and then there is a. Why did I use markers? You cannot color on a stamp with a Stampin' Blend marker. A Stampin' Blend marker is permanent, much like a Sharpie, and it will stain your stamp, and it'll be very difficult to get it off. Plus, you can't re-moisten it. Once you stick it on here and it dries, it's done. It won't transfer to your paper. So if you're going to be coloring on stamps, you want to use the Stampin' Write markers. If you want to color an image that has already been stamped, then go ahead and use your Stampin' Blends, okay? Little tip for you. All right, so we've got a few pieces, some little strips. These are 3/4 by 6, I think. They're way too big, but I have an inside layer, and I want to add a piece to my inside layer down here at the bottom. I just kind of thought with all this vibrant color that we have going on, that a little bit of the gray tone would just be a nice distraction, I guess, from the boldness. I was going to use our Pool Party striped ribbon, the new stuff, but I decided to go with the black. All right, so we will snip that off as it is much too long. Okay, and this is where I thought I would put this bling piece, just on the inside. So I'm just going to add some liquid glue to this. Can you color on stamps with the new chalk? I do not think you can, Bonnie. The only way you might be able to is if you scribbled some chalk on a piece of paper and then maybe picked up the color with a blender pen and then added it to the stamp. But I just feel like that would be way too much work, and I have no idea how good that would look. I don't think you'd get nice even color with that method. So I think the chalks are more meant for some kind of technique things, or to just maybe use your finger to rub those around on things. All right, so we're going to add our bit of bling right there inside. Hello, Jean from Oregon. Hello, Kathleen. Who else is on here? I saw some other people coming on. We've got Kathy and Jean having a conversation of their own. I am glad somebody is doing better. And yeah, okay. And I think I saw one of my team members on here. So hello to Kathy and Nina and some others. Oh gosh, now I'm wiggling the whole thing as I'm trying to get my comments to, there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to add this to the inside. Whoops. There we go. And I'll just leave a slight border. As you guys know, I like to do my 3-side thing here on the inside. If you're new to my channel or new to my Facebook Lives and have never watched me before, when I put an inside layer in, I line up the 2 outsides and then the bottom. Because even if this amount up here is not even, you will never know because it's all pink there. So you just want these 3 sides to be even, and then it will look really good. Okay, so now I'm going to add this other piece, this other strip right across my card here. Oh, you know what? I am going to use a piece of grid paper. Here we go. This is a used piece, but it's totally fine. And I am going to What is on here? Oh, it must be crafting. Okay, so I'm going to line this up just so I can put this on. So I'm actually using some of the guidelines here to help me get this on here, hopefully somewhat straight. Okay, we'll snip off the excess. All right, so then we have our cute layer, our little scallopy layer here, and we're going to add our fun flower to that. And I did cut one of these, but I don't know if I'm going to actually end up using it because I cut these fantastic flowers, and I am going to snip off one of them. Hello, Janice, how are you? And I'm going to end up tucking it under after I get that on because I wanted a little bit of bling, but I don't need like the whole thing. So let me go ahead and add this with some dimensionals. I am going to be very excited to use up my sheet of dimensionals here. Maybe not tonight, but very soon, because I do have some more technique cards that I have to make. And you know, I kind of want one there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my minis, and the minis have a pretty thick border around them. And so you can just take your scissors and just give yourself a little strip here. And then we can add that to our stem. Oh, thank you guys for welcoming me back. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've missed you guys. I honestly couldn't, it's been like a month was how long I was gone from doing lives. Just because I couldn't get my poop in a group before I left to go live before I left, and then I was gone for 2 weeks. So it's kind of hard to be gone for 2 weeks. You almost don't want to come back. You almost forget how to do your job while you're gone. It's like when you first get on vacation, you're like, oh gosh, I've got all this work I have to do. But then by the end of the vacation, you're like, what work? Work, schmirk, who cares? But yeah, you can't think like that all the time. Okay, I stuck a dimensional under here. Now that's going to be an issue. So I'm going to cut this a little smaller. We can always fix it. If we mess it up, we can always fix it. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, now I have 2 pieces. Yep, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to add a little bit of glue to the back of this piece. Not much. And then I'm just going to tuck that and stick it down. There we go. And then this little guy, well, I got too much glue. See, I've been gone so long, I don't even know how to use glue. Crazy. All right, hold on while I rub this glue off my hand. And then this leaf here, I think I'm going to cut some of it off, and I'm going to use this one. And I'm going to kind of tuck that one under like that. So let me add a little bit of glue there, and then we'll just tuck this one under too. I really like the bling. That just, it looks really pretty. I almost like had my card backwards. Geez. Okay, so that's going to go like that. So I need to stamp a sentiment here. So because we're kind of got a little bit of a gray thing going on there, I'm going to use basic gray as my sentiment. It's not quite as bold as black would be. And so hopefully it will look really nice. I did not make this card all the way. So I don't know if it's going to look good or if it's going to look terrible. We'll find out. Stay tuned to see if the card looks good or if it looks terrible. No, I think it'll look fine. There it is. Dimensional sheet gone. Oh my. I don't have any more. Of course, that's not true. I have more. I just didn't have any right here on my desk. Okay, and I like to always add an extra dimensional in the middle. Let's see, Tana says, hope you did not have any fire problems. Sounds like there was one. There was, Tana. I talked about that a little bit earlier. We had actually gone to Flathead Lake one day to go out to Wild Horse Island in our boats. And when we got done, we decided to drive around the lake and end up back where, back at Big Fork. Well, we got all the way down to Polson, Montana, which is at the bottom of Flathead Lake. And there was a big traffic jam. We finally got through the traffic jam, and we got around to where we were going to be heading up the highway, and there was police officers there, and you could see smoke in the distance, and they told us we had to turn around and go back the other direction because the fire the previous night had jumped the highway. And then as we were Googling it, as we were driving back to our camping spot, It was human caused, and that, I have a lot of words, some choice words for people that do that. It was a campfire that apparently didn't get put out all the way. And of course that was in the middle of the, you can't have campfires right now. Which for us as campers was kind of a bummer. We didn't get to have any campfires, but you know, it is what it is. It's dry up there and you just can't have fires. But some people don't think that it applies to them, and somebody started a fire, couldn't put it out, and there you have it. So anyways, that was a pretty smoky one, and the terrain was horrendous for the poor firefighters. People were evacuated that night. 20 buildings were lost, and that was homes and businesses. So yeah, I have some choice words for whoever started that fire. Anywho, let's move on. So here's my card. I do want to decorate the envelope. And I'm going to do the inking again, but I'm going to do just kind of right here, just like this part. So this I'm going to do fast, and I won't like discuss what I'm doing. I'm just going to do it. But yeah, so that angers me when these fires are caused by humans because they're stupid, and that just infuriates me. You know, poor people lost their businesses, lost their pets, lost their, you know, their homes. It's just... it's ridiculous. It's pointless, and it's just stupid. And yeah. So anyway, we're going to quickly ink this up. I forgot when I had my green to do the rest of the green. But other than that, we had a fantastic vacation. I got my son a little remote control speedboat, and we have gotten them before. But this one I paid a little bit extra money for. I paid $75 for this thing. But it was a kick in the pants. I am not even kidding you guys. It skirted around there. It literally went out so far away from where we were on the beach that we couldn't even see it anymore. We had to get the binoculars out to look at it. And then we were telling my son, okay, you know, go left, you know, you got to come back and turn left. And oh my, it was hilarious. But anyways, the thing was a screamer. It went super fast. It had 2 batteries. They each lasted about 20 minutes. So he did have a good amount of fun with that. So, you know, for being almost 18 years old, he had some fun. Okay, so I want to add this to the corner of my envelope. So I'm going to just do that right here. And so now, look what we have. So pretty. And then you open it up, and there's even more pretty. And I don't think this card even needs any more embellishments, because that paper is my embellishment, because it is so sparkly and so stinking pretty. Okay, so there's card number 1. Let me sort of clean this up real quick. Hopefully it, oh, where's my lid to my blender pen? There it is. Okay. We will put all this stuff back into the box that you guys, of course, can't see. I'm just going to move those over there. We'll move all that, and we'll get ready for my next